Yo, wagwan, it's that guy, Not Locks, Not Nation. Welcome to today's episode. This must have popped up on everybody's recommended feed lately, and that is the video of Lily Lu, 15 years, dreadlocks, my experience, my philosophy, dread journey. And this is a film dread update of a man of an altered appearance, living an alternative lifestyle, talking about the locks that he has left on his head. So make sure you stay tuned, stay subscribed. This is Not Nation. And yeah, this video did pop up recently as I was scrolling through YouTube videos, and Lily Lu is a tattooed, fully tattooed guy with dreadlocks now on the back of his head only, which are the remainings of a 15-year dreadlock journey. And I wanted to just go over this video here with you guys because it was quite interesting to show and talk about what he's talking about. So it's kind of like a reaction video to what he is saying. Now, I'm not gonna play the video, but you can see here who this guy kind of is, and his dreadlocks looking pretty insane, pretty insane, crazy looking. You can see that he's got some eye tattoos, fully face tattoos, lip tattooed up, and the dreadlocks that he's got after 15 years only remain on the side and the back of his head. The top is like barely, and this is signs of an elder dread, 100%. And essentially, the top little dreads here now is his newest dreads that have formed, and they're just short, obviously, because they're the newest ones now. The rest of his locks, I feel that these have been crocheted and backcombed to originally start. These top ones as well, these could be crocheted as well, but they might even just be free-formed for the most part, just these little top patch. And now, I like that he's embracing the baldness of his locks, number one. A lot of people would want to cut their hair at this point, but obviously this guy doesn't really give a damn about, his appearances. That was kind of his philosophy as well when he talked about why he has dreads. And he basically got dreads to commit himself to an alternate lifestyle, and compared to nowadays where people just kind of get them overnight as a fashion statement in a sense. But you can see the length here at 15 years, pretty insane, the length that Lily here is rocking with. And I mean, at this length you could wrap up a dread bun with the same amount of volume as somebody that has a full head of locks. So underneath a tam, you wouldn't really tell that he's balding, and I like that about tams. It kind of hide elder locks a bit more. Not to say that you need to hide your locks as an elder dread, but sometimes you just want to keep them up, and people won't know that you are balding. This dude's philosophy on life is basically always about the alternative living, accepting yourself for kind of who you are, and your hair for what it is. Now, there was a few things in this guy's dreadlock update that I wasn't a fan of what he was talking about. One was saying that he never washes his hair. And for him to say that he never washes his dreads kind of threw me off a bit, because I personally feel that you should keep your dreads clean. Clean hair definitely dreads better. And even after 10, 15 years of dreads, like, it's going to be collecting some dust and dirt. So it would be good to clean them now. I get it, because at that time frame of dreads at 15 years, you're like, it takes a long time for your hair to dry properly. So I get why you might not want to wash it as much, but I still feel like they would need to be cleansed at least a couple times a year. And Lily here did also mention about his locks that they smell like roses, and I'm not sure about anybody's hair that smells like roses unless they're putting like rosemary oil or rose petal oil in their hair directly. But he threw me off with that because I thought he was going to say they smell like musk when he said that, but it was pretty jokes. Another thing about this guy's alternate living, as someone pointed out in the comments, is that he's married, but instead of getting a ring finger, the dude ended up doing something else instead. He cut his ring finger off. And I thought that was kind of trippy to see that somebody would actually cut off their own finger for marriage. Like, real different lifestyle this guy's. But it was really well done. The film is really well put together. It's video, and it almost like sets a standard now for what dreadlock updates could be. So pay attention to this guy's style. But you can see here on some of his dreads, like kind of like a build-up happening. So you can tell his dreads aren't like the cleanest. Some of his locks are very short on the sides as well. I think he said he used to have a mohawk. In the back of his hair, you can see is really wispy and frizzy, but he's still embracing the length that he's got, and he's like wrapping them around. So as I was watching this video, you notice his wife in the background, and I'm like, wait, this chick looks familiar. When I saw some video of her of what was really happening, and I remember the tattoos here, specifically the black and the green, and then I noticed, oh, her dreads, she's got dreads too. And I used to follow this chick on Instagram as a random. She pops up when you search dread stuff, and she's got some pretty crazy dreads. So these two work together, husband and wife, filmmaker, and she's got some pretty crazy dreads as well. I can't think of her name offhand right now, but she's got a pretty interesting account. But this dude's locks here, he kind of gets a pretty cool style, like a Princess Leia type updo, when his locks are very lengthy and coiled up like this. And even like this, it looks like something like 2 Chainz would wear. He made his own beehive, his own hat out of his dreads into a bun. And I mean, that's a pretty cool look. So he definitely holds down his dreads in a unique way, and still very versatile despite the condition that they're in. And he wraps them up with his dreads by themselves, no hair ties or anything. You can also see he's got some like rings and some beads in there. This part was a trip for me. He was saying that when he has weak spots in his dreads, he sews them with a thread and a needle, and he sews them to give them strength. Now, I don't necessarily agree with this as well, because the areas that you can see that have been sewn look like they have some buildup going on there or something. I mean, YouTube's only giving me a certain resolution to work with here. But sewing your dreads like this is definitely a way to create buildup and help keep in moisture and shit. And it also doesn't look very healthy on his locks. I mean, I know some wicks are made this exact same way, and I still feel the same way about wicks sometimes, because they can probably trap moisture in the threading. And you can see this dread here is actually about 4 or 5 dreads sewn together. So I mean, this was interesting to see him sew his own locks up. I definitely never seen that in a dreadlock video update before, but you can kind of see these gray and white dry patches here that don't really look too healthy. My concern lays there on what is really going on. In that spot, there's probably some moisture buildup and some residue buildup down there. But to see dreads being sewn like that, like, it's pretty crazy. And another thing that was crazy here is his teeth. He's had his teeth like blackened in a really creepy way. Like, that's crazy. So in the rest of this video, he ends up dyeing his hair, and I thought this was a pretty interesting part of the video as well. Oh, it kind of shows you, you know, this whole process of dyeing his dreads, and they probably use about 10 packets of hair dye here. And that's the aftermath of his pink. And he's like, I don't wash my hair, but I'm gonna let the ocean do its thing here. And he let the ocean water rinse it out. And this was the last flag that kind of raised my concern, because he says he doesn't wash his hair, so washing it in the ocean is fine, but when you leave the salt water in after, it's a problem. So like, you should rinse out with fresh water, ocean water afterwards, because ocean water is very sticky and salty, so it will overly dry your dreads and leave like a sticky residue in there as well. But for him to just wash his hair in the water like that makes for a very cool shot. Probably not the best decision. I like how the pink is running off in the water right there. That's a pretty cool shot. But I mean, to each their own, and he's obviously very to each his own. And I mean, all the best to him in his journey. 15 years now. I hope to see you at 20 years. That would be a sick update for him. And he even showed us a little bit of a transformation in this video, so you can see his pink hair now, which turned out pretty decent. I didn't know that they actually made bleach in the color of pink that just comes out pink right away. So I thought that was pretty neat. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this video, what you think about Lily's dreads, and I'm gonna subscribe to him and keep an eye on his channel, because it's definitely gonna grow, and he's kind of hit the ground running with this channel and this video specifically. So hopefully he does more dreadlock videos in the future. And that's knotlocks signing off. See you guys in the next dreadlock update. Until next time, peace out, one love, adios, guys.